your talking pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Show Some Hus. We're so glad to have you. We're just here having a good time. I'm here with my good buddy, Donny, and we are so fortunate enough to have Rocksteady back. Rock, thank you for coming back, man.
Absolutely. This is Rocksteady. I'm so happy to be back here. I have to apologize a little bit in advance to everybody because, Leo, we went to that game yesterday, and my voice could still be a little gravelly, so I'm sorry if Rock's voice is gravel.
How dare you?
Oh, my gosh. Well done.
How dare you?
Oh, man. Thank you for that. I needed that. I needed that. Okay. A little gravelly this morning.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome. We are happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
As always, open invitation.
Oh, this is good.
Always.
I'm just going to start pulling up at random hours.
For real, though.
Please
I'm gonna
do.
be like,
Just
it's-
knock on the door.
It's 2 a.m.
Please do, man.
And I'm like, I just ate this burrito, and I need some couch to sit on. So thank you.
Yeah, I was in the neighborhood getting a burrito.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Donnie, which game do we have first, my man? Is it the
Wizards.
I don't even want to say it out loud.
The Wizards.
We have the Wizards game first.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, Rocksteady, you want to get this going?
Oh, let's bring it in.
So the Nuggets went to Washington.
Oh, yes, I
We
do.
went to Washington. We came out with a dub.
Yeah, we came out with a dub.
Yeah.
113 to 104.
They started as the Washington Wizards. We took one dub.
We did. And at some point, guys, it's like, don't be that team
Yeah.
that loses to the Wizards.
Do you
Am I
want to
right?
know why that statement is so ironic? You know exactly. All right, you bring up the Kyle Kuzma thing. Oh,
am.
man, this
I
is
am.
amazing.
I am.
My dad, the big Detroit Pistons fan, was absolutely ecstatic
Yes.
when the Pistons beat that team because
Yes.
Kuzma just said nobody wants to be that team.
Yep.
The
Yep.
streak gets broken against them. I was so happy it was them.
They are my least favorite team in the league. By far.
They are. I don't know that I would say that. So least favorite to me is reserved for like teams that are both uninteresting and also could beat us. I like
Yeah.
the Wizards for two of those reasons. That's a probable win on the schedule. You kind of circle that one and it's like, oh yeah, easy.
That's 9 out of
easy,
10.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
And second of all, the drama around that team this year with Jordan Poole in charge of a team
Dude.
is immaculate.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like watching that segment of a reality TV program where you follow the dumbest possible character around for a while. And you're just like, I wonder what decision-making processes happen in your head. Like, is it a literal gerbil who sometimes jumps off that wheel, and so it kind of freewheels for a while? Because that's what it seems like. If you would put prime JaVale McGee as the leading scorer on a basketball team, this is what you would have gotten.
JaVale. I loved him.
What a great guy.
And this is, I'm pretty sure, maybe this is made up. I'm pretty sure, didn't he have like a 4.0 in college? Isn't he actually brilliant academically?
He might be.
Maybe.
I feel like
But
you can
where'd he
totally
go
do
to
that.
college?
On
You
the-
put me on a basketball court, and I will do JaVale McGee-like things. And I swear I'm a very smart person. I didn't have a 4.0. I was not good at like school stuff. I swear I'm a very intelligent person.
You are. You
But,
are.
man, I am throwing like some sky hooks up that just go over the backboard, and you're like, what did you think was going to happen?
Some of his passes were
Yeah.
just out of control.
You kind of wanted to make sure when you gave him the ball, it was like in a very obvious, it needs to go to the hoop next.
Yeah. Or someone needs to go save him and get it from him.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish that he had played at the same time as prime Jokic, because I feel like he would have seen some of those highlights and he'd have been like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And just the type of passes you would get would be so good.
That's true. I can see that for sure.
Okay, so back to the Wizards. Joker had 42, 12, and 8.
You know what? I just need
That's
a better
okay.
effort out of him.
That's all right.
That's
I
not bad.
think it's not a triple-double, so it's not that good.
Yeah, and
It's a slow day for him.
I'm going to pull up.
Someone that I want to talk about, though, who has not been scoring the ball well, who got to double digits, is KCP. That 10, 3, and 3.
Yeah.
It could be. It's almost because like his defense is so solid that I feel like even someone like I
KCP
watch.
for first team all defense, please.
Make it
Please,
happen.
NBA. I want to see it.
Make it happen.
And at the beginning of the season, when I think was it Jamal that was like had come out and said that, like I was like, I mean, how can we justify it? But every team that we play, their best guard, KCP takes
Yeah.
every single time, and it's not always a lockdown, but when he's on the floor, I feel more comfortable.
Absolutely. You know, there's a reason this is a guy with a couple of rings now. He is not your, flashy hype guy who's going to go off for 30 in the playoffs. Probably that won't happen a single time.
No.
But he's going to put in a lot of the dirty work, and teams are just, like, very frustrated when he's the guy out there. You can see him sometimes helping the other guards, especially the young guards, find what rotations they're supposed to be taking, and he's, like, pointing out where they're supposed to go. The veteran leadership that a guy like that brings. I mean, I don't know that he's in, like, the team's 10-year plan, that they want him around for that long or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, he's putting in work right now, and I like it.
Yeah.
I would like to see him stick around at least for a couple more years, but like we were talking last night, it's a...
He's on his this is last year, right? On the contract?
I feel like there's an option. I think for him, it's a player option. I don't remember. Oh, I think I might still have that website up.
So I did like an efficiency chart. I showed you this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like per minute, a minute efficiency chart.
Yeah, efficiency per minute, a minute.
Yeah.
Emissions.
Efficiency. Dang it, I'm trying.
I did a nice
Gotta be a little
efficiency
bit faster.
for the Wizards game, and Joker he's the only person who averages above 1 point per minute he plays. Number 2, MPJ that game
I was
actually.
going to say, yeah.
And then number 3 was Jamal. But when you look at like across the board, I did.
I feel, if I'm remembering correctly, Jamal's efficiency that game was not as high.
No, he was only like I did points, rebounds, assists, and then I tacked in total free throw attempts. I don't know why. I just threw that in there.
Okay.
But Joker was first in points, second in assists, and then and I did turnovers, and he was first in the least amount of turnovers. He had 0 turnovers,
Excellent.
and then also first in free throw attempts.
Who was first in assists?
Twas this one. I feel like we kind of have to throw out. You guys, this is gonna blow your mind.
I'm going to guess it was Zeke Naji
It was Zeke Naji.
because he played 5 minutes and had 2 assists.
Yep.
You're right. We shouldn't count that.
Yep. So throw that one out. Joker was number 2 in that sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
And Jamal was 3.
Jamal had 7.
Yeah.
I appreciate when he is not scoring well, he finds other ways to be highly impactful.
Yeah, that is the key to Jamal Murray, is that there's going to be some of those nights, just because his average shot quality is so high. Or, no, I want to say it the opposite way. The threshold is so high. He shoots like crazy turnaround step backs and stuff like that, right? And he sometimes makes them very well, and then some games it's like 7 for 24. And I feel like it was one of those games, but like you said, as long as he's finding the passes, as long as he's making good defensive plays, getting out in transition, it's fine.
It's on. Yeah. And winning is winning, right?
So I want to ask you guys quick before we move on to the Pacers. The Wizards are slowly creeping into the Pistons and Spurs conversation.
I don't think they're slowly doing it.
I
I think they're trying their hardest.
Yeah, and in fact, they have the second least amount of wins now. They have 8 wins. So I'm going to ask you both.
They have 8.
Leo asked me earlier this year, and maybe we talked about it on the first Rock episode, but does Washington get to 20 wins?
No.
No. And
I agree.
for those crazy fans out there, maybe those Pistons homers who think that they're still going to win 20 games, it's time to hang it up. That's
Yeah, they're
not
at
gonna
5.
happen.
They're at 5.
You got to hope they're making double digits at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we even get to 10?
No, San Antonio, they're at 10.
San Antonio, when you watch those 3 teams play, I don't really think the Pistons should have very many more wins than what they have. I don't think the Wizards should have more wins than what they have. Victor Wembanyama is going to be something.
That's what I was
Spurs
saying.
are going to make the fastest turnaround of those teams. In a couple of years, you're going to be saying, it's unfair that they got the first draft pick in the next draft, too, after getting Wembanyama.
Yeah. Yeah, they have.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry, I totally just lost my train of thought.
They have no point guard, I think is what you're going to say.
Yeah, I mean they have probably one of the.
If you talk to Spurs fans, they'll go beyond just saying they don't have a point guard. They'll say that their point guards are actively sabotaging the team by not passing it to Wemby. He literally will have a mismatch on, a 6'4" guard
Yeah.
who's like a little kid jumping up trying to like wave his hands in his face, and Wemby's right under the basket waving for the pass, and they'll toss up a contested three instead.
Yeah. And miss it.
Yeah. Yes.
He's a once in a lifetime player.
I would say that if Chet hadn't come out in the exact same draft.
That's true.
And those two guys have to have like the most unique just physique of any NBA player. It is weird.
The comparisons of like what a big man was back in the day compared to now.
No. Yeah, I mean, do you remember Sean Bradley?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in Space Jam.
Yeah, there you go. People, and that guy is for sure thicker than either Wemby or Chet is, but people would go crazy talking about, get this skinny guy out of here. He could never guard Shaq. What is this guy doing? He's just tall. What else does he have?
Yeah.
And it's crazy that now we've got two guys that are skinnier than that, and people are like, these guys are the evolution of the league.
They're the guys.
Yeah.
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 When you look at like where Giannis was, and I mean, KD didn't put on a whole lot of weight, but KD's an anomaly.
Yeah. I think Dwight Howard had one of the craziest transformations. If you remember his very first years in the league, just like a skinny kid. I mean, just super skinny. And then he built himself into Superman. I mean, the transformation that he made from his rookie season to like what you think of as the MVP Dwight.
Those shoulders, man.
Oh, man.
Those shoulders.
That was all hard work, though.
Jeez.
And so you look at some guys who I'm like, man, I wish they would just add a little bit of muscle, maybe like a Peyton Watson. And I was like, I wish he had like 15 more pounds of muscle on his frame. And that dude would be just a force of nature.
Have you seen what Giannis looks like when he got drafted?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Two
different humans.
Literally looks like a child.
Two different
Yes.
humans. Yeah.
And now you're like,
I mean, you got to think a lot of these guys are children. I mean, they're like 19 years old.
Yeah,
They're coming
that's
into
true.
the league.
That's true.
Dwight was one of the last high school kids.
Yeah.
Was he?
That they allowed. I think him and wasn't it him and like Sebastian Telfair?
Oh, man, that's a great. It could be. I'm going to say
Maybe
that
I'm-
you're right, even if you're not right, just
know
for
what?
shouting out Sebastian Telfair.
Man.
Not a guy I've thought about.
I watched so much of his high school stuff, and I was like, I feel like I was like everybody else. I was like, this guy's the deal.
Is he one of the guys that you hyped up? Like, for me, it was like an Andrew Wiggins. I feel like since he was in 8th grade or whatever,
yeah.
I saw the highlights and I was like, this dude is going to own the league in a few seasons.
For me, it was OJ Mayo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was on
OJ.
the OJ Mayo
man.
train for all.
There was another guy in that draft with OJ Mayo that had a bunch of hype behind him. Who was it?
Was it a Duke kid?
Probably.
Well, that's not Austin Rivers'
No.
time, was it?
I don't think so, no.
No.
Oh man,
Maybe
I don't
I'm not
remember.
thinking
Man,
of
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's a long time ago.
so Nuggets
All right.
went to Indianapolis and they played a Bruce Brownless Pacers and won 114-109.
Free Bruce Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we didn't shoot the teams we play early. Not the teams. The Wizards and the Pacers did not shoot the 3-ball well, but it's not like we shot the 3-ball well either.
Yeah.
Shooting at 33%.
It's absolutely something with our guys that we will play to the level of the competition. And we've got that extra gear. We know this because we just won a title. Doing things that I was like, man, where was some of this in the regular season? I mean, everybody elevated their game. But we also de-elevate? What is the opposite of elevate?
When other teams get in trouble or when they're not playing well, they think, oh man, we have to play better. Oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. And when we need something, we simply go to pick and roll. And it works.
Yeah.
And it works every time.
Yeah.
It works every time. If Jamal and Joker are in the game, and you said this, Rock, last night, and I was like, man, that makes sense. Reggie runs and maybe I'm wrong, Reggie runs the pick and roll better with DeAndre.
Yes.
Is that what you were saying?
I feel like the kind of chemistry those two guys have
Yeah.
isn't exactly the same because DeAndre is not Joker and Reggie is not Jamal. But like they've got that same kind of chemistry going. And I don't think it's like as natural with Jamal and DeAndre.
Yes, and I agree. We were watching it last night, and
Yeah.
it seemed mechanical. That
Yeah.
I
mean, they're both smart basketball players. They've been on the same team for a couple of seasons now, so they kind of know what they're doing. But like Reggie and DeAndre just make it look effortless sometimes. It's like, obviously, I want you to go exactly here.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw the lob 15 feet in the air, and DeAndre will just reach one arm up and bring it down.
yeah.
And one of the main reasons the pick and roll, regardless of who runs it, but I mean, preferably we would all want Joker Murray, right?
Yeah.
Preferably.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah.
I think probably every single NBA GM agrees with me too.
Right? But like the point of Reggie and DJ doing it is that action, a lot of the time, like either just off to the side or or at the top of the key, is to create so that you pull someone
Absolutely.
and then you get an open
For a three.
or AG can do a nice little like baseline back cut or something. So I agree with you. I think when DJ and Reggie are in there, they need to run that more often.
Yes.
I think so. I mean, we saw it. What game was it? Remember when everybody was out? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have won that game.
It was one of the best Nuggets games.
Yeah, it
I
was.
feel like I even made a name for it, and I don't remember what that name was. I bet Nuggets Reddit has it.
DJ had a 2020 game. That was it,
Yes.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? Wasn't
Yeah.
it 2020? Jeez.
Reggie had 20-something points too. But yeah,
Yeah.
we had no Murray that game, and so Reggie had to start, and we had no Joker that game.
or AG.
And
Or
we were
AG,
playing
yeah.
a good team too. Was it like the Clippers or somebody?
It was the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
This is before they figured it out.
Yeah, and it was something special to watch.
Yeah, that
just
was fun.
because it's not something that you would anticipate. Yeah, this was during when they had just traded for James Harden, maybe.
Yeah.
And you just look at the names on one team, you look at the names together, and you're like, oh man, this is going to be a 40-point loss.
Yeah.
And then we pulled it out. That was a lot of fun. That was maybe the most enjoyable game to watch.
Yeah.
Just because how often are we the underdogs against
I was gonna
anybody?
say.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, we felt like back against the wall.
Exactly.
Shouldn't win. Like that like shouldn't win feeling is fun,
Yes.
especially when you win.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to feel like that, fellas? Where it's like, it feels good every once in a while to kind of be the underdog. Because usually
Yeah, I'm not used to this feeling.
usually it's and it's not. Because usually we get to
I
feel.
feel like coaches they scour media landscape looking for those little things like, how can I tell my guys that they're the underdogs today? These are the defending champion Nuggets. How can I convince them that they're not as good as the other team? Oh, okay, great. I just won't play a couple of guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that felt awesome.
All right, so we're going to move on to this Knicks game, and we're going to keep this very, very short.
Do we play the Knicks recently?
I don't remember us playing the Knicks.
I think we went on holiday
Yeah.
in New York.
I remember
might have
us-
stopped by MSG. I'm not
think
quite sure.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I saw some guys there. I think the Nuggets, the actual Nuggets, were out at like a club or something, and they found some just guys in Harlem who kind of looked like them.
Found some doppelgangers.
Yeah, and sent them out on the court.
Yeah.
I think that's what must have happened.
That is definitely, according to stats, what happened.
Only reason that was possible.
Yeah.
That's the only logical answer.
We shot 19%. 19%.
Yeah, I don't
from
want to
three.
even talk about it.
Okay, sorry, my bad. That was the only thing. I was gonna pick one thing to say, and that was my one thing. So
Yeah.
I got
I
got one thing.
Yeah, I was like, I want you both to give me one thing, and you can say another thing.
Okay, all right.
This was our championship hangover game. This is the most it's felt like all season. I mean, because everybody kind of expected. We started kind of better than everybody thought. They're like, man, the Nuggets are really not going to try. This was a game where we were like, we don't really care that much.
Mm-hmm.
There is no world in which, when a game mattered like that, we would lose to the Knicks by 40 points. It just would not happen.
Agreed.
So I think we had just gotten off of some big games against the 76ers in Philly, against the Celtics in Boston, and I think our guys were like, we've won this tough road trip already. I don't really care too much about that one.
Yeah.
And you hate to say it because obviously they would tell you, well, of course you try always a little bit, but it was clear that was not typical for us.
Yeah.
So I'm never going to think about that game again. Thank you.
And yeah, I agree, man. This is the NBA. When you take your foot off the gas even a little bit, no matter how good you are, these are pros.
Yeah.
They'll work you, and that's what happened. We got worked.
Yeah.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Villanova,
DiVincenzo.
Josh Hart,
Brunson.
Like, holy crap, the Villanova Wildcats were really
Jalen
good.
Brunson should be Eastern Conference All-Star starter.
Agreed.
I think there's
Which is kind of surprising. Like a huge market like that, you think people would have got out and voted?
Damian
I
Lillard's
think there's
good,
a
but
few tough cities.
Yeah.
And so if the Knicks aren't the number 1 seed, or even if the Knicks were the number 1 seed, there would still be, I think, some New York Knicks fans who would not vote for Jalen Brunson because they're so mad about like the 3 missed defensive rotations he had or whatever. They'd be like, no, unacceptable. Not in my city. Yeah.
I want to know like the guys who have been to like Jack Nicholson, Spike Lee. I want to know what they think. You know?
I know Spike loves him.
Yeah, Spike loves him.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're a true Knicks fan, you have to love this guy because the Knicks have been trash since Melo.
Yeah.
And even with Melo, they were just a team that was going to eventually lose to the Celtics or the Heat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was sad. You never really thought the Knicks had a real chance at a championship there. 09 was still his best chance here.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Not my fault.
let's
Well,
let's
how
remove
would it
that from our memory, that game.
be? Yep.
Yeah.
Delete.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah.
We need to get that erased. All right. And then last night, you guys got to go.
Yes.
This was, well,
111-105 Nugs win.
it was a win, and that's always good.
Yeah.
And the game was a roller coaster of emotion because I'm super hyped for the game, man.
Yeah.
Battle of the last 2 MVPs. Embiid, Joker. Oh, man. This is going to be hype. Tyrese Maxey having a breakout year since that James Harden trade. I mean, this is a team, we were on the train talking about how excited we were, Leo. This was going to
Yeah.
be so much fun. And then, you know, we get there and it's like, wait, I don't see Embiid out there.
Yeah.
Don't see Maxey out there. I don't even see Tobias Harris out there.
So going into the game, the injury report, I think I don't know, I looked it up a few hours before, and it was like Kenny Lofton was the only one that was truly classified as out.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba, Marcus Morris, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey were all game time decisions.
No, they weren't.
Yeah,
was made.
Embiid wasn't even on the list.
Yeah.
He wasn't even like, there was for sure he was going to play. And then like an hour later, they said Tobias Harris is out. And then right after that, every single one of those people on that list, including Embiid, were out.
Out.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, the gamesmanship, the back and forth here is crazy to me. When we went out to Philly, Malone did put all of our guys as like questionable. Like every single starter was like, is this guy going to play? I don't remember the specifics of it, but it was like very specific. It wasn't just like knee soreness or something. He was like the like 7th meniscal like tendon or something like that is sore. And you're just like, what? And then of course all of our guys played.
Yeah.
Because it's just gamesmanship. But with Philly, it's like no, sorry.
Soft.
Yeah.
It's soft.
Yeah.
Have you guys, I'm sure you've heard the story of like Embiid planned to play. And then he went out there and they said that the Philly physios were like, we saw something we didn't like. And so they forced him not to play.
They saw a giant man out of breath because he was playing at altitude.
Yeah.
So
you saw the fear in his eyes.
I mean, if the guy truly has been injured for what? How many years has it been? 4 or 5 that he hasn't played here?
He last played here 2019.
Okay.
So it's been, 5 years.
Okay. I mean, if he truly has been injured, that sucks. It's also a wild coincidence.
Yeah.
It is a wild coincidence because didn't he play 2 days ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the claim is that he hurt
Didn't he
himself during that game.
Didn't he score 72 points?
Something like that, yeah. Maybe
And
that's it.
The dude's a phenom.
Overwork.
Like he played enough for 3 games. That's a 3 games worth of work right there.
Yeah. From a Nugget standpoint, you don't want to play your best players against us? We'll take the dub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from an entertainment standpoint, I was
man.
disappointed.
So I wanted to bring up this part specifically. This is going to sound made up because it was so crazy. Leo and I took the train back after the game was over, sat next to 2 Philly fans. One is like a little kid, I don't know, like maybe 10, 11 years old. Yeah. Philly fan wearing an Embiid jersey said it's the first NBA game he's ever been to.
Oh.
And he's so upset because his friends at school are going to give him trash because Embiid didn't even play the game.
Are they going to chant, "Where's
I
Embiid
know
at?"
I know a part of Embiid is like, this is great. I get to stick it to those Denver fans who like don't even get the pleasure of watching me play in person. So
Mm-hmm.
ha. But you know who else you stick it to is this poor kid, and I have no idea who this kid is, and I'll never see this kid again.
We're talking like middle school.
Yeah, I don't know. He might have been younger than middle school.
I would say
feel
10 or 11. Yeah.
He seemed pretty young.
This poor kid.
Yeah, and his like dad's trying to let him down. Like, we were in the game, and I'm sorry.
It was still a good game, and
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
him all those things. Yeah.
His dad, who had to pay ticket prices for like
For real.
an MVP matchup
Yeah.
level, and instead of getting that, he gets the Paul Reed show, I guess.
And Paul played not terrible, but
30 points.
but again, man, you said
Not
it.
the caliber of matchup you were looking for.
Yeah. I'm glad you told that story, Rock, because that was.
It sounded unbelievable. I was like, "Oh my god, kid, let me take notes right now so I can credit you on the podcast."
Your first game that you've ever been to, and you're right, man. The look in the dad's face, you could tell he felt so horrible for
It
his
didn't help
boy.
that the first thing I said to the kid was to trash talk him. I'm like, "Oh, hey, nice jersey. How many points did that guy have?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I shouldn't pick on this little child like that." So I tried to help him out later and be like, just go to school and tell your friends. Well, yeah, if Embiid and Maxey had played, we would have won.
Yeah.
That's not true. They wouldn't have because the Nuggets would have actually tried. But that's what he should tell his friends. So
Yeah.
Say that or learn how to fight and beat them up.
And that's what I want to
That's
ask
my
you
advice,
guys.
kid.
And I kind of, sorry. You
No, you're good. No, you
I,
go. Yeah.
I kind of talked to you about it when you walked in, but
Yeah.
like, what does that game go like if everyone's healthy?
It's completely different. The Nuggets, by and large, did not play great. Jamal played pretty well. I thought.
Yeah, he started off so hot
Yes.
and kind of cooled off, but
Yeah. But very
played very well.
efficient from beyond the arc. I mean, overall as a team, though, especially early on, we were like, is Joker even going to shoot? Is he trying specifically not to shoot? So it's like, you're not going to play? I'm not going to score. That's fine. We'll make it even.
it looked like a dad playing with a bunch of his kids, and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm just here to facilitate.
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody gets involved. Oh, hey, buddy, you haven't gotten a shot up in a while. Let me make sure you get something.
That's what it was like, because
Yes.
it was like he was looking to not score.
Yes.
I don't know. But
And
yeah.
I think that the mentality the team goes into is completely different if that were an actual game.
Yes.
So
I agree.
also feel that like basketball IQ wise, Joker's obviously in another stratosphere than everybody else, right? That's the reason that a guy who's not as like athletically gifted as an Embiid can come in and dominate the way that he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the more the Nuggets play the 76ers, the more Joker's going to figure out and the less effective Embiid will be long term. And so I kind of understand from that perspective, not just the I don't want to put up another highlight where, Joker gets like a game-winning shot or whatever and then we lose in Denver, but he's also thinking to himself like my bag is only so big.
Yeah.
I can't let this guy figure me out anymore
Yeah.
in a potential series.
That's true.
I want that finals matchup now.
Me too.
I want to see him here.
Me too.
Because as disappointing as it was to not, from an entertainment factor,
Yeah.
not getting to do that, I'm happy that he came out in the third quarter.
Me too.
And I got to boo him
Oh,
relentlessly.
yeah.
And I wanted a little bit of revenge from losing in Philly.
Yeah.
You know?
But it doesn't feel like, and this is what I was telling Leo.
It doesn't
when he
feel
was
like that.
Because as soon as we found out that nobody was playing for Philly, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a close game because we're not going to go out and try.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we had put the hammer down and we had won by 40, it still wouldn't feel like revenge because you didn't even get to have revenge on their best players.
It was a win that it was a win we should have got.
Yeah.
And if we didn't, that would be the storyline.
Yeah.
There is no storyline that we won. It's just
Yes.
we won, we move on.
They created a lose-lose situation for the team.
Yes.
Where it doesn't feel good. And I hope that we see them in the finals because I think they're going to regret that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what it felt like when you said you were worried at the beginning, like since no one was playing, it was going to be close.
I could tell.
That, when we played the Clippers and Reggie and like all of our guys were out,
Yes.
that's what I was worried about. I was like, that's going to
Yes.
be them.
That's the exact
I was
game.
so concerned.
That's exactly what happens. I mean, the two games that we recently had against the Pacers felt the same way. With Halliburton out, it was like, I know it's going to be a close game because the Nuggets are not going to try as hard as they should. And like Leo said, these are all still professional NBA talent
Yeah.
that would whoop anybody else in the world. So if you're only trying even 85%, suddenly that talent gap is real close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't the high school level. This is
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
These guys do this for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-1 overall
Yeah.
on the trip. Well, not on the trip. We were on a longer trip than that, but yeah, I mean, it's good. 3-1 is good.
Yeah,
And-
Wigan was good.
Yeah. But that's all it is, unfortunately.
It just feels rough, both because that very forgettable game against a team I don't even remember, this loss doesn't feel as good. And at the same time, the West is still stacked, man. You got three teams out there killing it in addition to us. You got, I think the Thunder now are the number 1 seed. Is that
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And then you got the Timberwolves and the Clippers all playing phenomenally. So
Yeah, we're technically in the 4th
that's
right now.
crazy to me right now.
So
It's
we,
so
we
tight.
would have the Thunder for the conference finals?
Yeah. No, we'd have Thunder round 2.
Around 2.
One and,
okay.
one and 4 play round 2.
That's
2 and
right.
3 play.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me get your guys' take on the next 2 games. Big ones. Bucks and Thunder.
Thank you. Run it by. I was going to say.
Oh, man.
Bucks at home. That's tomorrow, Monday. And then we got Thunder. We got to go to OKC on Wednesday. And, I mean, we are 1-0, I think, in OKC this year, but that was early on.
Yeah.
We beat them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we smashed them.
We've played 3 times. We're 1-2 against them. We need this next one to equalize.
Yeah.
And we're obviously capable of doing it. We've done that before. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
The Bucks game is fascinating to me because, again, that's another potential finals matchup. And what a cool storyline now that they have decided to fire their 30-13 coach and upgrade to Doc Rivers. I don't know. Like, definitely a bigger name coach coming in mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna be better for them? I don't know.
He's getting paid.
Yeah. What was the last team Doc coached at? I'm trying to remember. Was it
It was
Philly?
Philly, I think.
He had a starting shooting guard, I think like a James Harden, and some kid he wouldn't give a chance to, a Tyrese Maxey. Is that kid any good anymore, or was he? Oh, maybe Doc's not the guy you want to necessarily handle those translations.
How did it go with the Clippers? Did he succeed with the Clippers?
That was a team just coming off of, Kawhi Leonard at the time, people were saying, best player in the world, right? So you got the guy who's the best player in the world. You got Paul George, who is probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. Did they win the NBA title?
I don't. Did they make it to a
LA?
conference champion?
Ooh, I feel like maybe that team was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
So
They were fun to watch.
they were fun to watch.
Blake Griffin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Lob
go.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
DJ.
for our sake, I'm ecstatic that they hired Doc.
I wonder. I think that's such a cool matchup. I mean, if I'm just an NBA fan, round 2 of the Eastern Conference Championship could be Bucks and 76ers.
Ooh.
Battle of the bigs.
Yeah.
Giannis and Embiid. Battle of the guards. The,
Dame and Maxey.
decrepit remains of Dame versus Maxey. We'll see.
I think it's either going to be absolutely disastrous or it could be just an absolute stroke of brilliance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping for the first one. Disaster.
Disaster's always fun.
Yeah.
Although I guess all things being said, I don't really care who comes out of the East.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. If we play the 76ers in the finals, who does John Calipari go for? Does he go for Tyrese or does he go for Maul?
Probably Tyrese. The problem is Maul will always be underestimated because he goes Super Saiyan between the regular season and then, okay, it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so you just look at the stats and you're like, Maxey's a much better player than this guy. What's going on? And then you don't realize who Jamal's going to turn into.
Yeah. And Jamal's got a ring. I mean, for Calipari, he'd probably be like, just get all of my guys one ring, I'll be happy. And then it makes him look good.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know. But yeah, the amount of guards. You mention this every time we watch any team. He's like, the amount of Kentucky guards that are on the court right now. It's ridiculous.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Kentucky or Villanova, it seems like.
What are you guys' thoughts on the Thunder game?
Must win. I think there are not too many must-win games that we have in the regular season because I think we're capable, as Leo said before, of beating any team 4 times in 7 games. We'd probably be favored. But the Thunder are a good team. They have an MVP candidate, and since, Embiid probably will disqualify himself by not playing sufficient games to qualify for the award, Shea could be in the top 3 in voting.
Yeah.
That would not shock me at all.
Agreed.
And so they've got good young talent coming up as well. That is a team that is legit.
Yeah.
And I would much rather have home court advantage against that team. We've got to beat them because that both equalizes the season series so that they don't have the tiebreaker against us. And we also need just to catch up in the loss column right now because standings-wise, we're below them, but it seems closer than it is.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got to catch up in that loss column. So to me, this is a big game. That's a must-win.
It's crazy to think that this is the final game we play them, and
Yeah,
they're
we've played them
still
3 times already.
yeah, like there's still what 2.5 months left of the season.
Yeah. It's so backwards sometimes like that because I feel like it's the opposite way with the Timberwolves. We played them like once, I think, and we've got them 3 more times the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And so those 3 games are going to be huge for deciding potential playoff seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Another Kentucky guard.
They're everywhere, man.
Dude, I Shea is so
Do you
impressive.
think it's the bourbon?
What?
Do you think it's like Kentucky bourbon? Just like as you're in college, those formative parties that I'm sure none of these players drink.
Never.
But if you were to, is just the higher quality bourbon, does that give you like an inner fortitude that makes you a good NBA caliber guard?
Absolutely.
I think that's what it is. I'm gonna
Kentucky
have to
Deluxe
go looking.
specifically, the $4 handle.
Yeah, is that what it is?
It's that Kentucky Deluxe that they never drink.
Evan
yeah.
Williams.
Not that they ever. I'm not accusing any NBA players of underage drinking.
I do think the Thunder are gonna be the best team in the West besides us.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done.
Yep.
I think the big difference to me is who am I more scared of, the Timberwolves or the Thunder? I think the answer is the Thunder.
Yeah.
Because although I definitely respect Ant, I feel that Cat has an inner softness to him. Like
We will figure out.
he is-
Thank you.
Yeah,
We've played
He is
them
a
once.
marshmallow man.
And the only concern I had in that game was the 2 bigs that we're just not used to playing.
Yes.
That we are not used to. Like I think we went with that was the first time in the season we'd seen Joker and Zeke out there at the time,
Yeah.
and I don't think we had really even tried out DJ. And now I will in a 7-game series we solve that problem
Yes.
against the Thunder. You're right. That becomes you go from algebra 2 to calculus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who does Aaron Gordon guard in the Timberwolves series? Does he guard Cat
think
or
it's
does he
Cat.
guard Ant?
I mean, size-wise, Cat is a really big guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that his big strength is post moves. I think he likes to stay out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Aaron Gordon will probably be the guy matched up against him. There's that great meme from one of Cat's first 2 seasons where he's trying to post up against Boogie, I think it is. And Boogie's just like standing still, and Cat has like, he has kind of a very expressive face, kind of like, and he's just like struggling so hard to push against it. And Boogie's just sitting there like, what are you doing?
just a
bro?
giant wall.
So
Welcome to the league,
it's
buddy.
just not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'll be AG, and
Yeah.
then I think Joker doesn't have to work that defensively hard against Gobert.
Yeah.
So save him a little bit.
and then DJ can come in and he can body up with Gobert.
Yeah.
And if you have to play Zeke, I guess we do. But
So is KCP
That's the
big enough to
word.
guard Ant?
that's the next question.
He's a great defender, but is he big enough to guard someone?
You know who's going to spend a lot of time guarding Ant?
Justin Holiday.
There is I don't think that's the answer, but that's it.
No, I was just
Interesting.
MPJ?
There is a player on our team who I believe leads the league in like on ball opponent field goal percent, like the difference between what they normally shoot
Yeah.
and what they shoot when that player guards them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is that defender on our team?
Ooh, is that Peyton?
That is Peyton Watson.
Okay.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would I? I don't know why I was saying Justin.
And we
Holiday.
could. I mean, maybe we could mess with the lineup, or he get more minutes, right?
Yeah, I think you have to.
In
I mean,
that
you guys
situation.
talked on your last episode about like playoff rotation, and
Mm-hmm.
Justin Holiday is one that kind of falls under the radar a little bit. It is weird when you look at him because he's averaging like 10 minutes a game when he plays for, or like 13 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So he's definitely out on the court, but they're always quiet minutes, and that's not to say that he's not being effective, but like the type of game he has falls a little bit under the radar.
Yeah.
I do think, however, though, and again, this is probably my own bias because Holiday plays those quiet minutes. Peyton Watson plays maybe 20 minutes a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's becoming
Yeah.
the number one. Him and Reggie off the bench.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie probably won because of the veteran leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I think Malone still has maybe not a distrust, but like you've got to prove yourself to me, rookie. And obviously Peyton's not a rookie, but pretty much a rookie, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that Reggie's the number one, Peyton's number two. CB, who I thought was going to be the number one guy at the beginning of the season, is like closing in on 4.
He's becoming
probably
4.
3. Yeah.
I mean, he's getting time, but he, Watson and Reggie are playing more than him, and I didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
Yeah, I would not have anticipated that, but
It's warranted because he
yeah.
hasn't been
oh,
playing well.
for sure.
Reggie's the only guy we have on the bench that can score. The rest of them have to have someone else create their shot.
And I like the shout out of Peyton in that
Yeah.
stat
Oh,
because
Peyton.
I love the way
Yeah.
he's trending,
Oh yeah.
but I wish he would go to the rack more. That 3 ball, he needs to.
You know, I think he does. I think that's where I really wish that he put on 15 pounds of muscle.
Oh, for sure.
He's not quite a like John Morant type guy where it's like he's going to go no matter who's up there, but he will. And he's also gotten blasted at the rim a few times by not just like, your A+ giant centers or whatever, but just by like, there's a man-sized guy here and I still don't have my full adult size yet. I mean, that's not even a lie. I feel like most guys grow to like they're 25 in like some regards.
Yeah.
I feel like he puts on some of that weight, and he's got the mentality of a guy who's just going to go ballistic. I love that he's on the same team with Aaron Gordon. I feel like please hit the gym with AG
Yeah.
for like the next
Just
couple
go
of
live
years.
in his like warehouse.
Go
for
live
a
in the
year.
warehouse. Go hang out with his puppies, and then you can really get that dog in you.
For real though. Okay. All right. Just one. Kind of give a quick statement, you guys, of this 4-game road trip, and then we'll get out of here.
We
Or
did
not
that-
road trip. Sorry, the 3 away, and then
four game stretch.
Yeah,
that we
4-game
just talked
stretch,
about,
yeah.
So I think that we did what had to be done.
Yeah.
We got wins in 3 of the 4 games. I'm settling for 75% win percentage probably any time.
yeah.
Overall, from an entertainment perspective, it was a little disappointing, but that's what you're going to get in January.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're on pace for things to be fine. So
Yeah.
I don't know how many of these games I'll remember. I'll remember the 76ers game because I loved booing Embiid so much. Like,
It felt so good.
you can just inject that IV.
What
of,
was that like?
Him trying to wave sassily to the crowd.
Was the
while
whole
we're
crowd
opening.
into that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
It was hilarious timing at first, right? Because Rocky just comes onto the court to do his, like, reverse mid-court shot or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Everybody is
Rocky's
booing.
been struggling a little bit, but the boos are so loud, and it took me a second to figure out, like, dude, I mean, I know Rocky's been having a hard time.
I
but,
even asked you, I was like,
man.
are they booing him?
Yeah, but then we looked down. It's so hard to see sometimes about, you don't know what the players are doing. You don't get like the close up in the faces when they're out there. If you're in street clothes, yes, that's a 7-foot man out there. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but Embiid was a pretty, that's Joel Embiid. Okay.
Yeah.
So we had to join in the booing a little bit.
Yeah. Leo sent me a funny video of you guys complimenting his vest game.
Oh yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I was invested in that game, yeah.
Tyrese had a nice little jacket on.
Yeah.
I can't hate him. I love that dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate him. I want him to lose, but
Yeah. You can respect a guy's game.
Yeah.
You can individually want to be like, wow, I really want to watch that guy play, but I hope he loses.
Yeah.
that's exactly how I feel. He's my favorite. No, he's not.
You're a Nugget fan, but you're also a basketball fan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I'm just the West guards guys.
Yeah.
I was just like, obviously Luca and Shea.
Luca, is that guy playing well?
He's all right. He's all right.
I haven't watched him in a couple games. Has he done anything?
He's put the ball in the hoop a couple times.
Oh, is he? Yeah, probably nobody plays defense on him. That's what I've heard.
Dude, did he have 73? Is that right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
saw Embiid had the 72. He's like, I'm going to one-up you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Literally.
got you.
Yeah.
So, of course, the Philly fans were like, well, Embiid sat the last 4 minutes, so he could have gotten more.
Shocker.
Like, yeah, okay.
How many free throws did he shoot?
My favorite of those like guys all trying to prove themselves stretch was Cat, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He shot the team into a big lead and then shot them out of a win.
Yep.
All in one game.
Yep.
But he started so strong, he had like 44 in the first half or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Phenomenal.
And you're just like, like you said, it's that game when I was like, we'll beat them in 6 because
Oh, yeah.
is he a scoring phenom? Is he a great player? Absolutely, but he is about himself.
Yes.
He's about getting 70, 80, 90, and he'll do whatever it takes, even if it means
Yes.
losing to get there. And I'm like, oh, dude, thank you.
Yes.
I think that Embiid will always have this like rivalry with Joker. He will always be trying to make sure he has a better game than Joker. And Joker will always be trying to make sure we win the game.
Yeah. and I'll take that as a Nuggets fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because him trying
can
to win a
settle.
game is also wildly entertaining.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Like over the head passes.
Yeah.
I don't know, crazy threes at the death.
Right.
The guy's
Please
nuts.
give me those over 23 foul attempts
Yeah.
from Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
And sitting out 14 games.
Yeah.
I really hope he only plays like 64 games.
Oh my gosh.
And so he can't even qualify for
Yeah.
the MVP.
Yeah.
Shoot yourself in the foot.
I saw the stat. How many more games can he miss?
It's like 6 or 5.
That's
something
what
like
the kid was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kid last night.
Yeah, there's not many more you can miss. I wonder if they screw the NBA in the other way. Like, dude can't miss any more games. He knows he's got to play them all. Gets legitimately injured. And they put him out there in like a cast on crutches to start the game. Immediately
And then
call a
sub,
timeout and sub him out. He played.
Oh my
He
gosh.
started for us.
He was
What
out there.
what a gimmick that would be. What a
1
joke.
minute.
Oh man, Adam Silver should be on the phone already because you know that situation is going to come up, Adam.
For sure.
There's going to be a team that's going to do it. Set the record straight right now. Also, Mr. Silver, can you please just let the fans in Denver watch your MVP play a game? We do pay for the privilege,
Yes.
and maybe we're not willing to pay as much if we don't get that matchup.
We'd like to see firsthand why our player didn't win MVP last year.
Yeah,
So just
because it looks like so far we've got the rings, we've got the Finals MVP trophy, we have a guy that comes out and competes every night, and you got a big fat.
okay.
Sorry.
Thank you for being here today.
Absolutely.
You're gonna come back for another pod, right? We're gonna do a
yeah.
content pod.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
We'll have to do
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do a content pod. And Leo, thank you for being here, even though I asked you quite
You'll have to be-
politely not to come.
something. You'll have to
Donnie, I'm sorry, man. You know, when it's pod day, I'm gonna
Rock, I
have to
tried.
come
I
over.
told him a different time, but he showed up early today, I guess.
be- Yeah. That's what happens.
Fellas, I knew.
Hey, thanks for the coffee this morning, Leo.
Yeah. Also, that's what we're gonna go do. We're gonna go get coffees because I want coffee. All right, Rock. Thanks for being here. Let the people know.
Don't forget to show some huss.
In Nikola We Trust. Go Nuggets.